All right. Welcome, everybody. How did the project go tonight? Make the Rube Goldberg machine.
It went good.
Yeah.
All right.
It went good.
I'm hoping everyone's getting
Kind
Unity
of good
open.
and kind of bad.
Kind of good, kind of bad. All right.
I didn't really add color.
That's okay. All right. Who'd like to show off what they did first? And I need to rename you. All right, Lucas. You can go ahead.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
Hi, guys.
sorry. There you go, Lucas. Should be better now.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. Wow, look at the physics. That's so cool. Ta-dang.
Looks like gravity's too low.
Oops, oops, oops.
This is how it would work on Mars.
Wow. Or in slow mo. Awesome. All right, we definitely need to add sound to that.
That was great. Thanks, Lucas.
Yeah, that was awesome. Good job. Excellent. Well
right.
done.
Who's next? All right, Armand. Take it away. Don't forget to hit, you have a pause right now. Just hit the pause button again. No, not the play button. Yep, okay, this will work. Whoop. Didn't quite go as expected.
Okay, a few things. Let's fix the camera first of all, so we can see what's happening from another angle. Otherwise, the view is closed with the very first domino. So can you please fix your camera there?
Don't forget to exit play mode first.
Yeah. You have to be, you see you have 3 tabs, scene, game. You have to be in the scene mode. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yep. And find your camera, click on your main camera on the left panel. No, just click on the word main camera on the left panel where your objects are.
Other left.
On the left, on the other side of the screen. The complete opposite side of the screen. Yeah, there you go. Do you see the, okay, perfect. Now, did I actually show the camera? Riley, you want to lead him?
Yeah, pardon?
You want to lead him? Yeah.
Sure. Where do you want your camera to be looking? No, don't move the plane. Just move so that the scene view is where your camera wants to be looking. You want it looking like that? Not at an angle at all?
Okay, do
Okay.
you know how to use your actual mouse? Are you using mouse or are you using whatever built in your laptop? Are you using an external mouse? No? It's a good idea to actually have your external mouse connected because then you have access to that middle button. But is there a way, Riley, here to actually zoom in and out and pan?
Yeah,
Around?
hold down the Alt key when you move around. Or
Hold down the,
hold on. Click on up in your buttons in the top left, the tools. Click on the one that looks like a hand.
Mhm.
There. And now you can click and drag to move around.
Yep.
And you can use Alt to look around. Hold down Alt. Yeah, hold down the Alt key. It is Alt, right? That does it? Yeah.
but
Definitely.
don't let the Alt key go. So hold it and then try to use the arm while holding the Alt key. You should be able to rotate it, right? The entire, yeah, only up and down, not, so he can't rotate around it without the mouse?
You should be able to.
No, that will rotate the physical object. We want to rotate the entire scene so we can see it from another angle, right? So that's what I'm trying you to get you.
Armand, does your trackpad have a right click? Does it have like a button? Like a
Yeah, it's
button?
Lenovo. It's
Yeah,
Lenovo.
can you just right click using that button? Like while, put your mouse in here and then click and hold the right click. Yeah, see, there you go. And now just move around.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, so select the angle that you like.
Wait, also one more thing, Armand, in the top right corner, underneath this like weird looking shape, do you see that little word that says ISO? ISO? No, a little bit down. There, that thing? Yeah, can you click that? There you go.
Okay, so go ahead and rotate it a little bit at an angle and then secure that view in a camera. Well, it's good enough. And now you want to secure that view with the camera. Remember how we did that? Go ahead. No. Just bring your main camera. Click on your main camera again. Yeah, so now go ahead into the, what's under edit, guys?
It's game object.
Game object, great. So go ahead, game object in the menu on the very top. Yeah, game object. You see the align with view, right? This is from the bottom, that option there. No, align with the view. Yeah. There you go. You see now you aligned your camera with what you see on the screen. Go ahead, play it now. Oh, there you go. It worked. Hey, good job. Good job, buddy. Hey, nicely done. Good job, Armand. Thank you.
All right. Who's going to go up next?
Zachary, you want to show us what you got there? Sure. Go ahead, share your screen, buddy.
Ooh. Did you make that particle system yourself?
Yeah. Kaboom. 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 I just used the joint thing to the particles for a ball.
That's so cool and creative. I love it. Good job,
that's
lad. That's great.
It has a name, the Fireball Incubator.
Fireball.
Wow.
That's a square. Summons the fireballs.
And you literally used everything Riley taught yesterday, the joint, the
Yeah.
particle system, the physics. Well done. Awesome. Great. Love it. Good job.
All right.
Next, Lucas.
Lucas already went.
Oh, Lucas already went. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Nathan.
My thing got deleted.
Got deleted.
Yeah, I tried to rename the sample scene and then it got deleted.
Ooh.
Can you share your screen? Maybe it's just hiding somewhere. Yeah. Nathan, go ahead, share your screen. And we'll look through your assets and see where your scene is hiding. Is this the right project?
Yeah.
Okay, can you click on assets? You're right now in the scenes folder. Can you just click on the word assets? Okay, nothing is here, right? No, don't delete it. Oh, what is that? What folder was that? Yeah, I don't see it. It's only one folder. But you're sure you actually did it in this file, right? In this project file. Because if you go to your
Yeah, I did.
yeah, because when you open Unity, you might have different projects. I wonder if it was in a different place, but that's hard to miss if you would notice that. Okay, well, no worries. Things happen, but make sure to save it. And what did you do to delete it? Just want to understand.
I went into scene.
Nathan, you muted yourself accidentally.
Yeah, I went into scenes and I tried to rename the scene and then it got deleted.
Huh. How can you rename the sample scene? I want to see how. Right. So rename is right under the delete there, right, in the menu. So maybe you just missed it. Yeah, but this is how you would rename it. But try to delete this sample scene. Shouldn't it ask? It should ask for confirmation though, right? Like, go ahead, try to delete this one the same way. Right click, delete. Yeah, you see it asks, so make sure to read it, right? So don't click the delete button if that's not the action you want to do, right? So it actually says you cannot undo this action. So you should have cancel. You should have pressed cancel on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's okay. Well, can you tell us what you built? What did you have there?
I had a ramp going onto a seesaw, and then there was a ball on top of it, and then there was a ball on the ramp too that rolled down, and it tilted the seesaw so the ball went down.
Wow,
And then it
sounds fun.
and then it hit some dominoes, and then it hit a bigger ball down a ramp thing.
Wow.
And then it went on a like a catapult thing, and I had a second one with a heavier ball, and then it would launch it. Yeah.
I'm so sorry you lost that. No, that's okay. Yeah, things happen. So now at least you know that whenever you click that delete button by mistake, make sure you're given one more chance to think about it. So don't click on the second delete button. Click on cancel. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Next. Who wants to go next? Ajrat? I'm just going in the same order we went yesterday.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Share your screen.
Uh-oh, this is the wrong one. So what it's supposed to do is currently I was watching this ahead of time. Once it'll play.
Mm.
It's kind of slow. It's a slow process.
That's okay. And the donuts go bigger and bigger. Eh? That's cool. Does it have enough pressure on the big one? Yes, it does. Oh my God, cool.
Yeah, it took
That's
a while to
fun.
get it to get the
Oh.
pressure on the big one.
Oh, that's cool. I love it. Love it. And look how physics nicely work. The big one took so like much time to fold, right? Just like it would happen in the real life. And that's where Unity creators did a really good job. So awesome. Good job. Excellent advice.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Next, Max.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna show my screen here. Okay, so trying to start it. Okay, there we go.
Wow. Oh, you
When it
actually
gets to the-
did.
That's
You actually
cool.
had the end goal. Cool. Wow.
That's cool. That's really fun.
Amazing. Awesome. Love it. Well, on that one, it would be nice to have the animation added and just zoom at the end so you can actually see better the second scene there, right? Riley?
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about that if we have time, so you can actually use that on that last scene there. But awesome. Great job, Max. Yeah, awesome.
Thanks.
Nice. Next, Khalid, do you want to go next? Is Khalid here?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. I didn't complete mine all the way though.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's not finished.
Yeah, this already looks impressive.
Um,
Go ahead, please. Cool. Whoosh. Oh, cool, it worked. Nice, it's perfect. Good job, buddy.
I wanted to add an end thing at like something at the end, but I didn't get to that part today. I'm gonna
Yeah,
try.
but it's perfect just the way it is. So great. Yeah, if you have an end goal, just keep working on that. That's gonna be really cool. Something you can show off to your friends and parents. Good job, buddy. Good job. Excellent. Oh, nice. I love how everyone is doing their homework. That's great. Okay, next, Andrew. Andrew? Can you unmute your mic, please? We don't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you share your screen?
Yep, okay.
Hmm?
See it there? Okay.
Oh, wow, he even added the lighting. Spooky.
Wait for it. Yeah.
Ooh. Nice. Just remind me, Riley, we could have also shown them the bouncy physics on the ball.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would have been good.
that would have been good. So some of the balls could just jump around, right?
If you copy and paste one inside of another one, it just pretty much just like explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we maybe start with that today, Riley? It's really quick. It's just the material
Yeah.
type of thing.
I can definitely start with that.
Yeah, then they can add it to their incredible machine. Yeah.
Send you all the way, walla walla. Send you all the way, walla.
Yeah, goodbye, balls. Yeah. Well, some of them actually done. Look at that.
That bulb should bounce back because I have a wall behind the camera. But,
Right. Yeah, we're going to show you how to make them bounce. Actually, this reminds me cool. One cool feature that we can show you. Why are they going so slow, Riley? Is it the mouse or?
Probably because the computer is struggling a little bit to do the physics calculations while also streaming to Zoom.
Right. Ooh, good job, buddy. It worked. Nice. It's like marbles. It's like marble machine, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Good job, Andrew. Good job. I love it. Love it. And I like how you use also the lighting and physics all together. So it's all coming out together great for you guys. Awesome.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, and Adam said he had some issues with his PC. So so he couldn't do his homework, unfortunately. That's okay, Adam. Did you fix your PC issues? Like, will it affect you going forward, or you're okay? Adam?
He says it's okay now.
He's okay now. Okay, good, good. Okay, and Tyrone, how are you doing, buddy?
Tyrone didn't save.
Oh, didn't save. Yes, I've seen that happen so many times. Guys, again, Control S. Let me actually put that in the chat. Control, you hold the control button, and then you click S. In any app on the Windows machine, if you have Mac, I think you just hold a different key there, Command or just some weird Mac keys there. Yeah. So, but anyways, make sure to save your project. Literally every time you add something, you added one object, you save it. You added the second object, you save it. You added the third object, you save it. And then later on, if it crashes, because the other problem is that Unity, because it's using a lot of 3D rendering, it can crash, right? And then you will lose all your progress as well. So make sure to save your program throughout your project as many times as possible, like literally after every major change you did, that you would be sorry to lose. Okay, so that's something everyone should do. Okay, awesome.
I like to say you should save every time you take a breath.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So does that make everyone then?
Yeah, I think we hit everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good job, excellent. Loved it. Awesome, great. Thank you guys for the presentations. That was awesome. So let's just show them the bouncy balls that they can add to the incredible machine and then move on. Yeah, great.
Sure. Hold on. And I'm going to share. So I took the liberty of creating a brand new scene already. But I can make use of this to show what I want to show you. So first thing I'm going to want is to save it. What's a good name for this scene?
Bounce.
PC. Pardon? Bounce? No, I'm going to be using this for something else. I'm going to call it PC to give you an incredibly obscure hint. There we go. And I'm going to go create a plane for things to bounce on. Expand its transform. Reset it to 0. I'm going to go ahead and create a sphere. Likewise, set it to 0, 0, put it above. I'm going to go add component, rigid body, to make it a rigid body. And then, if I take a look at the collider, no, it's not going to be leggy, Max. Don't worry. If I take a look at the sphere collider on it, or really any collider, there's this field for a material, but not the materials we're used to. It's looking for a physics material. We go and create this in the similar way as we're creating other materials. We right-click down in the assets folder, go create. We don't click material. We want to keep going down until we find a physics material right here in the list. We do that. We can then give it a name, for example, bounce. And then we can change some settings on it. We can change dynamic friction is how quickly something slows down. Static friction is how much you have to push it to get it moving. I'll just set those to 0 for now. And then there's bounciness, which ought to be pretty self-explanatory. It won't go higher than 1. So I'm just going to set it to maximum bounciness. And come onto my sphere and drag my physics material into the sphere. And maybe I'll just add some colors to things because I have them on hand. Oh my goodness. Yep. And then let's also give you a light component if I'm using the glowing orb. Nope. Voila. Perfect. Entirely unnecessary, but somewhat fun nonetheless. Okay. Now I'm going to get my camera in position. You're right. Doing it from the other side can be beneficial, especially for later. Oops, daisies. Yeah, that'll be good. Not at all centered, but that's fine. Now when I go ahead and play, we should see some predictable results in boing. So nothing terribly exciting there. The ball bounced. I can also give the physics material to the ground, and this will make it doubly bouncy.
It's a trampoline.
It's in fact too bouncy. It's no longer doing an accurate physics simulation. If you notice, the ball is getting a little bit higher each time it bounces. This doesn't happen in real life, no matter how bouncy two things are. They never do this. Anyways, so that's physics materials, how we can make bouncy objects. Not particularly hard to do. If you want other particular aspects to your object as well, you can add the features in here, making them bouncier or harder to move or slowing down quicker. You can customize all of those properties in here for the physics material. I guess I need a new folder for this now. Let's create a new folder and call it Bits and Bobs. There we go. Bits and Bobs. Okay, perfect. And now let's get rid of the sphere. Now we're going to keep the plane around, but we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay.
For those of you who have balls and their Incredible Machines project, so like you can add the balancing physical project to it, and it will actually be even fun, even more fun, right? Again, up to you. Okay, thank you so much. And now for today's class. Yeah.
Control S, I'm saving. I should have saved more often during that scene, but I lucked out. Okay, so today I want to get started with programming. I hop into, yay, says Max. Okay. Let's see. How many of you have programmed at all in the past? Okay, and what languages have you used to program in before? For those of you that have programmed. Nice. Scratch, C#, Python, Python. Okay. Scratch. Okay. So the first thing I want to do, Python and Scratch, sounds good. And is there anyone here who has never programmed? Armand hasn't. Anyone else?
I don't know what programming is.
That's all good, Armand.
I maybe have, but I just don't know.
That's fine. All right. So we'll try to take a little bit fun.
What about Tyron and Lucas? Have you guys done any programming before? Let us know in the chat or unmute your microphone. We can hear you. We want to make sure we cover as much as possible. Okay, Lucas says I program. Which language did you use, Lucas? Python. Okay, Tyron says
Python for Tyrone, and Lucas, you've used.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll try and make as many references to Python and Scratch as I can. We're not going to be using either of those languages, but a lot of the same concepts are going to come into play. For Armand, we're going to go take it as hopefully a bit slow. If need be, I can always send you into a room with Tim to explain stuff a little bit more in depth if you need me to. Please let me know if I'm going too fast or too slow. I'll probably make some checks every so often. This is where the material starts to really get difficult for some people. So I'd like to take it slow. Okay. First things first. I'm going to have everyone make a script and try to open it just to make sure you all have the correct software installed. So we do this by, I know, Max, I just need to make sure everyone else does, and that is working correctly.
What is Visual Studio?
Don't worry about it. All right, so we're gonna right click down in our assets, and we're gonna go create C# script. And then right away, we're gonna need to give it a name, and it's a little bit picky about names. It has to be only letters and no spaces. So I'm going to call mine player controller. No spaces anywhere in there. I'm just using a capital P and a capital C. And then I'm going to hit enter. And I want everyone to do this in maybe a new scene, like I have. Once you have a script, I've called mine player controller, and you're gonna have an easier time following along if you keep the same names as me, but you don't strictly have to. I then want to double click on it, and something that looks like this should go ahead and open up.
Okay, because many of you cannot really watch Zoom and do the open the app at the same time probably. So go ahead and we'll give you about like 5 minutes to actually, or 3 minutes to do this. And please let us know about the results in the chat. Let us know if this Visual Studio opened on your machine, okay? So everyone, create a new scene, add a new script to your assets, and double click on it to get into Visual, to get the Visual Studio open. And then report back to us in the chat so that we know.
So a new project?
New scene,
not
a new project.
Yeah. Have we shown them how to do the new scene?
I have. if you guys don't remember, it's just under File, New Scene, or you can hit Control N.
Just like
It's asking me to sign in.
Visual Studios is?
Yeah.
If you have an email and you want to create your own account, you can go ahead and do that. If you don't want to create your own account, though, we do have an account that you could potentially use.
well, you want to probably use his one, yeah.
If you want to make your own, it's probably
Does
better
it
for
take
that.
Google accounts?
Does it say that you can log in with Google?
Zachary, do you want to share your screen actually so that everyone sees in case they run into the same issues? Yeah.
It says Microsoft. Wait.
Share your account. Yeah, it might require Microsoft account, which might be like Yahoo or Microsoft, but let's see. Can you share your screen, buddy? Zachary?
So guys, if you have like an email and you want to make your own account, that's probably the best option. Otherwise, like if you don't know your email or you don't want to go through that process, I'm pretty sure
Can't
we have
really
an account
show
that you
it.
can try to log in with.
Is it your computer, or are you on someone else's computer, Zach?
It is my computer.
Try logging in with your same credentials as you log into Windows.
I can't really share this. It
That's
says
fine.
it says email, phone, or Skype.
Yeah, so
With email.
Oh no, I didn't really need it. Wait, what? I don't know what this is. Wait, give me a sec.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is just colors.
Yeah, this is when you set it up, you can pick like a theme. Dark is very nice if you want.
I use dark. So if you wanted to look like mine, that's the one to pick, but it doesn't really matter.
I have a question.
Yep.
Like, my Rube, is it okay that my Rube Goldberg project disappeared?
What do you mean it disappeared?
Like, is there a way to get back to it eventually? Like, under.
Oh, yeah.
Your scene disappeared. It's not disappeared, it's in the scenes, right? So you just double click on the scene icon in your assets
Oh.
and it will open. Yeah.
And so I have a new scene. What do I do again?
Yep.
Just create
Now,
a plane, or create a
just like you create
a new C#.
material, yeah, add the script. Just same way you'd add the material, but select the script.
Okay.
and C# script, and then double click on it to try and open it up.
Doesn't matter what the name is.
Somewhat.
Player
I called mine
controller.
player controller. Make sure it doesn't have any spaces or symbols or numbers in it.
Zachary, what happened to your screen?
It just said to stop sharing. It just automatically stopped sharing.
Riley?
Yep.
Do we click on C# script?
Yep.
Okay.
If any of you run into problem, share your screen. Maybe someone else have the same issue, so that once we solve it through your problem, the other people can actually follow along, right?
And like, I had.
Is that Khalid or Arman?
I just opened my thing, and then it's just saying, how do you want to open this file? Is that correct? Is that what I should do?
You want to right click and do you want to share your screen and actually show us? We'll walk you through.
I have the same thing.
Yeah. Go ahead. Arman, share your screen, and while helping you, we'll help everyone else.
See, I'm just double click.
Okay,
Like
there you
that
go.
one.
Yeah,
And
you
then
got the script. We'll call that script player controller.
That's not going to be the issue just yet. Arman, okay, so when we're asking you guys to share your screens, make sure you're sharing the whole screen and not just the single application. This is going to become especially important now because we're
Because this will take you to different application, right?
yeah,
You're getting
because
outside of things. Yeah.
because we're going to be using a bunch of different applications. So Arman, can you share again? But this time sharing your screen and not just
I need you
the
to
application.
Well, when you try to share, it will give you several options, and the very first one should say desktop or something like that. So you want to share that one. That one will show everything on your screen, not just.
Just hobby. Yeah.
Okay.
Which one do you want to use to open the file? That's it.
Okay, can you stop sharing this one? I'm gonna try again. And this time when you
trying to.
Try to restart the computer then.
I'm trying to. It's not working.
So I'm trying to figure out.
There, I stopped you myself, Arman.
Okay.
now share again, but this time choose the desktop instead of, don't choose the Unity. Like you can see Unity on it, but on desktop you can see your entire
Did it
desktop.
work or no?
No.
I don't have a desktop. You mean I should share my screen like what
Yeah.
I'm seeing right now?
Yeah, yeah. Screen.
Okay, I'm here.
There you go. Yeah.
Riley,
Yeah.
I have to reboot my computer.
Okay. So just up. No, don't click somewhere else. And now
Riley?
double click on the file.
Okay.
What click?
Yeah,
Double
just double
click.
click on
Click
that
twice.
C#. Double click on that C#. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, just double click. Yeah. Just only 2 clicks. No, left click. 2 left clicks in a row.
2 regular.
There we go. And yes, now hit OK. And actually,
I guess I got it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got it. Yeah.
not now, maybe later.
So now I want you to sign in. Oh, okay. Yeah, Zachary, you could have selected that one, right?
I think that's what Zachary selected.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm having trouble opening it.
All right,
Okay,
go ahead and
share
share your screen. All right, and double click the player controller. Ah, you're on a Mac.
Yeah.
Things can definitely be interesting.
Most of it should be the same. You can still just double click it, no?
Okay.
Just give it a better double click. A very affirmative, no?
The other thing you can try is up in the top right. There's other right.
Oh.
There's the open button. Just to the left of your mouse.
It just says open, yeah.
And do you happen to have this full screened?
Yeah.
He's only sharing his Unity.
No, he's sharing the whole thing, but he has full screened. Make sure that it didn't open in like a separate workspace or something.
It says that.
There we go. Aha.
Yeah. Oh, so
Interesting.
Or...
Okay.
Can you click choose application?
Oh, wait. Yeah, choose application.
Now we wait.
Yeah, we might install Visual Studio for him separately, right?
No, I think he has it.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's an icon for it down on his taskbar.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, so just scroll through this list until you find.
VS Code. You can probably use VS Code too.
No, you have to use VS Code on a Mac.
What? You have Visual Studios on a Mac,
You have VS Code on a Mac.
but they have both. Okay, anyway, just keep scrolling down. It should be at the bottom. It starts with a V. Can you see it? Visual Studios.
It's totally not in that list.
Oh, okay. Wait, no. Hold up. Get rid of the recommended. Click the thing that says recommended, and just say all.
Okay.
Okay, and now Visual Studio should definitely be in this list. Hold up.
Take
Click
a
on
look.
Maybe it's in utilities or something.
Yeah, open up utilities. See if it's in there. and scroll through that.
Well,
Nope.
can he just click on that Visual Studio on his panel to open it?
Maybe he needs the, oh, why is Mac like this? He needs the application file. Can you command click on Visual Studios down in your dock
So just hold command down?
and then click? Or if you can right click, that also works.
No,
Control.
I can't. Yeah.
Control click.
Can I use command?
No, it has to be control, I'm pretty sure.
There's no control. Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be a control.
Yeah,
So
try
control click.
control, try maybe command or option. Just keep doing it until like something comes
Oh,
up.
there we go. And
So go under
go,
options.
yeah, options.
Show and
Show
finder.
and finder.
Can you cancel this one? Maybe it shows something behind.
No, leave this open for now.
Oh,
And did another finder window open?
Oh.
Maybe check behind this finder window. Nope. Okay. Tim,
Oh.
can I send you into a breakout room and try and get this working?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
just a sec.
Pardon?
Just
Okay.
one sec. I want to try something. I want to click on this search. Some it doesn't.
What if it's under desktop?
So, well, I can't control it. No.
Yeah, you can't control his computer. It's weird.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, just put me in a breakout room. We'll try to see if we can figure something out.
Yeah.
Okay. Breakout
Can I,
rooms.
can I just hit cancel here?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is sending Tim
Yeah.
and Khalid,
No,
was it?
don't deny that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wait, but this one only gives him Zoom would like to control this computer. Oh, okay. So he needs.
Yeah.
Can you click on Open System Preferences? Maybe there is some allow button there.
Let's
Otherwise,
just let him take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Zachary, how are you
Lucas.
doing? Yeah.
Go ahead and share, Lucas. Let's see if we can solve this quickly. Zach's good.
Okay,
Um,
so we know Arman opened it, right?
Yeah. And what happens when you double click, Lucas? Oh, well, that's funny. Okay. 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 Can you go into File? Up in the top. And, oh, actually, not File. Edit is the one I wanted. Edit Preferences. Down near the bottom. Preferences. And External Tools. And that file, the first one that says open file by extension, hit browse. Okay, cancel that. Close this window. Right click anywhere in your project settings. Or not project, in your project, anywhere in the asset folder. And go show and explorer. And now double click on assets. And player controller, right click on that. And go, actually make sure you right click on it, not just next to it. It can be a little finicky. Maybe And now open with. More apps. Okay.
Look for another app on PC, no?
Can you open up the start menu? Open up your start menu for Windows.
Just leave it here. Just click on the Windows icon on the very, very bottom left corner.
Where you go to open applications.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Or, oh, actually I meant the search bar. The spyglass
The
next to it.
The next one. Yeah.
And start typing visual.
You want to see if your computer has Visual Studio.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't look like it does. Okay, I'm gonna send you into the same breakout room as Tim, and just tell him that I'm asking you to that you need help with installing Visual Studios.
Can you? Yeah, I can help. Yeah, you can send me with him.
Okay,
Yeah.
that works.
Did you send yourself there?
That was definitely a wrong button. Okay, so I need to assign Irada, breakout room 2, and it was Khalid who was running into issues?
Wasn't it Lucas?
It was Lucas.
It was Lucas, yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, you two should have that. Okay, so everyone here managed to get Visual Studios open, right?
Yeah, I got it on.
Perfect. Okay. I don't want to do too much while we have 2 students away, but I do want to get started a little bit. So, given that, let's start talking about what we see here. All right. So, up at the top here, we have some imports. That's a really hard color to see. Let's go, that better? That's much better. Also, are you guys able to see, is it too dark for you guys to see?
No.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have these imports. Basically, don't touch. Then we have, we'll notice the same name as our file show up here. This always needs to match the name of the file. We also don't touch that. Okay? In Scratch, we had physical blocks. In Python, we used indents to mark the different levels of what's going on. In C#, we make use of squiggly braces. Notice that we have an opening one here and a closing one down here, defining this block. We have another block here that's currently empty, and another block over here that's also empty. Okay, I suppose I should say a little bit about what programming is, especially for Armand, who hasn't programmed at all. So the idea is we can start with this scaffolding, this framework, and build off of it to do custom things. We can use a set of commands to specify what we want to be happening. And we do this by building a custom component. So remember how we have a rigid body component, a light component, we saw a transform component, we've talked a little bit about the collider components, the hinge joint component, or any of the joint components. All of these are components. We're going to make our own custom component with our own custom behavior. And we can do this by kind of using the tools that Unity gives us in a scripting environment. Okay? So we can think of these words here and here as labels for these blocks. And inside of the blocks is where we put our list of commands to describe what we want to have happen. The start block is used to describe how things get set up. When our scene first starts, what sort of setup do we need to do? The update block happens every single frame. So it's constantly happening. And it's what lets us describe how we want our game to behave, or how we want our component to behave. All right, any questions so far?
I think we're good.
Why don't touch, Nathan? Because these ones are needed and we don't really need anything else. For right now. We will be touching them a little bit later, but for right now, just don't touch them, leave them there, don't want to break anything. Do we get an example? Yes, I will be giving an example right away. Is everyone back from breakout rooms, or we still have people gone? Nope, still Arata and Lucas are gone. Okay, that's fine. Nope, this is what I wanted. Okay, so this is the basics of a script. I can hop back into the script itself now. So the first command that I typically like to show is the print command. So a command is made up of a few different parts. The first part is the name of the command itself. In this case, print. Then it has a pair of parentheses. Like these parentheses here, in fact, I call these labels. They're more like defining your own commands, but we can get into that later. So I put the name, a pair of parentheses, then I need to put in what I want to print. I can put in numbers if I want. I can put in numbers with a decimal if I want, but I can't just put in random letters. If I wanted to print out text, I need to tell C# we're actually working with text. In the case, this is very similar to in Python, where if you want to mark text, you need to put some quotes. However, Python will let you do single quotes or double quotes. Not so with C#. We need to use always double quotes. And then we can put in whatever text we want. Hello, world. And every single line, I will talk a little bit more where we need it and where we don't, but everything will always end with either a new block or a semicolon. In this case, it ends with a semicolon. And we call these lines. All right, so that's all we want to do. Now, to demonstrate what happens, it's not going to be terribly exciting. If I hop back into Unity, I'm going to notice that this little spinny thing spins for a little bit. Unity is just getting used to having the new script in. I now need to put the script on something. Like I said, we're making custom components. So I'm going to go ahead and create a capsule and reset the transform on that and bring it up a little bit. And I'm going to attach the script to it just by dragging it on. Zip. Right until I see a blue line, and whoop, whoop. Now my script is on the capsule. When I hit play, I'm going to head over to the console window down here. When I hit play, it prints hello world to the console. Nothing terribly exciting. The reason I want to demonstrate this is to show a contrast between putting it inside of start versus, I'm going to leave this block alone and now put it inside of this block. Same thing, semicolon at the end still. Notice this little star up in the corner of my file. This means my file isn't saved. I can save by hitting Control S or going File, Save. Make sure we have to save before any of the changes are going to show up in Unity. Anyways, now if I flip back to Unity after having made that small little change, and now I hit play, we're going to notice something very different happening down in the console. I'm getting a bunch of hello worlds instead of just the one. All right? Not particularly useful right now, but maybe a bit more of a concrete example of what I was talking about. All right. Questions so far? This is the end of the easy scripting stuff.
Armand, do you have a question?
Yeah. Can you put one word but then put another word, or do they have to be like in one sentence all time?
They have to be all in one sentence.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll see commands that will work on different things at once, and then we can put multiple things in, but never multiple things for something that only takes one thing. I will see examples of that pretty quickly.
It's like Pokemon on the 3DS.
Sure.
Never played that before.
How, like, when you're playing with other characters, how they talk to you, it's like the underbox.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's exactly like that.
Yeah.
All right. Saving my scene with Control S. Now let's do something a little bit more interesting. Not much, but a little bit. So we're going to get rid of the print. And we're going to start with a little quiz. So we can access the various different components that are attached to an object. Some of these we can access right away just from the script. For example, if I type transform, I get direct access to the object's transform. I can access the different components of it, or the different bits of the component, using a dot and then saying which aspect I want to look at. For example, I can look at its position. And if I wanted to, I could print its position. If I go ahead and run this, we'll notice I'm getting a triple of numbers. That are slightly rounded. But we notice that they're very, very close to what we have going on over here. 1.26, if we round up, 1.3. Negative 0.29, if we round it to the nearest tenth, we have 0.3. So we're printing out its position, and the same thing as we're seeing in the inspector, okay? We can also change this. So if I go transform dot position, is equal to I can set it equal to a new triple of numbers. I do this by saying these triples of numbers happen to be called vector 3s. Don't ask why. That's just the technical mathy vocab word for them. So now I can specify the 3 numbers that I want. I can say, let's move it to 5, 1.5, 3. And that needs an F there for technical reasons. Ta-da! It immediately, on the first frame, teleported where I told it to. We take a look at its transform, 5, 1.5, 3. And we see the same thing reflected in the printing statement. All right. So baby steps so far, definitely baby steps. There are some other things I can access on the transform that we can't necessarily see in the inspector. I can, for example, take a look at this field called transform dot forward. Let's go ahead and print that. Print transform dot forward. So now if I go ahead and play, I'm seeing 2 triples of numbers show up. The first one is our position, clearly. The second one is a little bit weirder. 0, 0, 1. Interesting. So that means it's 0 in X, 0 in Y, and 1 in Z. If we think about this as a direction, it corresponds to this blue arrow here. and corresponds to the forward direction of our object. Putting this together, I can start to do something a little bit interesting. Instead of saying new vector 3, I can say that our position is equal to whatever our current position is but just move forward a little bit. Does anyone have any predictions for what this is going to do?
I think the numbers are just going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
I think it's probably just gonna keep moving forward once it gets to the position it is. Yep, I was right.
You both were right. We just shoot off into infinity. Okay, maybe not the most useful yet. Maybe not the most useful. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. The next thing I want to do is maybe control the speed a little bit. Now, this isn't particularly hard to do. If I want it to go a little bit slower, I could just multiply by 0.5. And it would go half as fast. Do you want me to show that off? Or are you guys just good taking my word on it?
Yeah, show it.
Show it. All right, I'll show it.
Okay, so I helped Lucas to install the Visual Studio Code. Can you tell really quickly, update him what he missed?
Sure. Lucas, have you programmed before?
Lucas, can you mute your microphone, please?
A bit.
A little bit in Python?
A bit of Scratch and this one website, I don't remember the name. Okay.
So all we're doing is we're building our own custom component to do something. We use curly braces to denote like blocks in Scratch or where we might use indentation in Python. You'll notice that we do use indentation here, but we don't have to. It would work just as well if I had written this. It's just uglier. So we don't. This block, the start block, which is technically a function if you guys have used functions before, is called at the very, very beginning, whereas this one is called every single frame. I've also shown that we can access different aspects of our object. This corresponds exactly to the transform component that we saw on a object, and its position is just exactly its position. Exactly as we see in the inspector. Forward, while we don't see it in the inspector, corresponds to the blue arrow on an object. So when we bring this over into Unity, we can attach a script to an object. I created a capsule by dragging it on until we see a little blue line and letting go. We get our script, and then when we hit play, we see the effects of the script. Currently, we're moving forward at half speed. Half speed, oops, that's not the button I wanted to hit. Half speed because we're multiplying by 0.5. Quick refresh for everyone else as well, where we've got to so far. All right, so I can set the speed to 0.5 there. But sometimes I don't want to just put a number there. And sometimes I don't want to have to jump back into my script to be doing that. So just a reminder of how the component looks right now. It looks just like this. Nothing fancy going on. It has the title and then a grayed out field that we can't do anything with. But if I come into the script and I go public, note I'm putting this inside the outermost block, the outermost set of curly braces, but above either of these two functions and outside of either of their blocks. All right? And now I need to say, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new field inside of the inspector. And it needs three things. It needs the word public, which lets C# know we want to show it in the inspector and not to hide it. We need the type of information we want. For example, we saw vector 3s that are like triples of numbers that help us with directions and positions. We saw decimal numbers. There are also strings of stuff. We need to specify what sort of data we want it to be taking in, so that we don't just have, so that Unity knows what sort of field to create. In this case, we want a decimal number, and we specify that by calling it a float. And then we need a name. I'm going to call this name speed, and then semicolon. And then we can make use of this any place we might otherwise use a decimal number. For example, down here, speed. All right. Once we've done this, if we hop back into Unity and let it compile up for a second, we'll see our script component has changed somewhat. It now has a field that has the same name as the name we gave it in our script, speed. If I set this to 0.1 and go ahead and play, note I'm also saving my scene at this point in time. I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to crawl forwards. If I make the speed negative, say negative 0.1, it'll start moving backwards. So if I change these values while the game is playing, we see stuff happening. And now let's maybe set it to 0.2. Whee! And negative 0.3. So we're starting to get somewhere with this. We haven't gotten in any controls or user input yet. I assure you, that's not hard. This bit's the hard bit. All right. Questions at this point in time?
No.
Also, if anyone happens to have the hand up on video, I'm not looking at the video right now. It's just too much on my screen. So just unmute yourself or post in the chat if you have a question.
I just want to remind everyone that the name of this script has to be exactly the same as the one in Unity, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Because sometimes, like, people might just see that Riley's script is called player controller, but I see some of you called it script. So when you double click on it and it opens here, it should automatically bring the script. But if you're actually typing it, you might make mistakes. So make sure the player controller, you see the line 5, player controller, that name should match whatever script name you have in your Unity, okay?
Okay. Yes, Zachary will cover player controller. It's actually easier than anything we've done so far, but it does make use of some of the things that we've used. There's one more thing I want to tackle before we jump into player controller, though. It is the next thing I want to tackle, and it is rather easy to make a very quick and simple one. But before then, one thing that always happens is people make mistakes. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, especially when we're learning. So it's important to have tools at your disposal to know how to figure out when something's gone wrong. So I'm going to make something go wrong. I'm going to delete this W. All right. Now, I know what mistake we made. We forgot a W in the second time we used transform.forward. But suppose I didn't know what would happen. I thought it was all going right. Never mind the little red underline. That's definitely telling me something's wrong. Let's think I think it's all right. I jump into Unity. And oh no, it doesn't work. And when I try to play, oh no, all compiler errors and a message that's way too fast to read. Well, there's a little red down at the bottom, and it's a little bit hard to read, but if I go click on console, we'll see it a little bit more clearly with a giant red exclamation mark next to it. And if we look below that after clicking on it, it gives me some more information. It says assets/playercontroller.cs, open parenthesis, 20,61, error, blah, 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 transform, does not contain a definition for forward, and no accessible extension methods, blah, 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 blah. What does this mean? Well, transform is the sort of thing that we're dealing with. Doesn't contain a definition for forward. So we try to access something that doesn't exist. We have a name dot another name, but that other name doesn't exist. C# has no idea what's happening. So it's a little bit helpful, but we can read a little bit more. Notice this 20,61. What this is giving us is, first off, the full path to the file. So it's in our assets folder and it's the playercontroller.cs. And then the line number, line 20, that the error is happening, and even the column number. It's happening on character number 61. So if we hop back into Visual Studio's code and we take at line 20, okay. I don't think I have Visual Studio set up to show me column numbers just now, but that's, oh no, it totally does, down at the bottom here. So if I go in near column 61, we have a transform. And it's trying to access a forward. That's not right. I didn't mean to type that. I meant to type forward. I can go in, fix my mistake, save the file, hop back into Unity, error goes away, and I'm free to play. So that's how you deal with errors when they show up. I just want to quickly go through a couple of the other common ones. If I forget a semicolon, which is super common, then I get same line number, semicolon expected. Okay, that's fine. I forgot a semicolon. Go in, put the semicolon in, all fine. Suppose my squiggly braces are mismatched. Suppose I have an opening one and then not a closing one. I might get something, I get closing squiggly brace expected. Okay, that's fine, I'll put it in. If I'm missing the very last one in the file, I get the same error. Sometimes you get something that says like unexpected EOF. It means the same thing. You either forgot a semicolon or a parenthesis or a squiggly brace somewhere. So that's how you can start going in and figuring out where the errors are and how to go about solving them. All right.
And one also very common one is that if you fixed it in the code, then you went back to Unity, but the error is still there. What does that mean? That means you forgot to save it, right?
Yeah. Always remember to save. Always, always, always. Control.
To go back to Visual Studio Code, you have to save your code before you get back to Unity.
Okay. All right. With all that out of the way, let's make a player controller. So Unity makes it really easy to make a player controller, in fact. It'll do most of the work for us. What we want to do is we want to add a component, and the component name is character controller. Okay? Once you have your character controller and your script attached to an object, we can then go ahead and use it in the code. The first thing we need is a way to access the character controller. Now, this isn't the only way to do it, but I think it's the way that involves the least amount of programming. It's not best practices, but it's definitely the best way. So, public to show up inspector. What sort of data are we expecting? Well, we're expecting a character controller. So I write in character controller, being mindful that it has no spaces and where the capitalization is. All right. And then I want the name. I'm just going to call it controller. And I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff down in update. So you have the controller. We want to do two things. We want to create a we want to get user input and pass that input to the controller. So what we can do is call controller. Do I want to do that? Okay. One other thing I need to explain. These up here are called variables because they can vary. They're not constant. They can change. We use them to hold data for us. They're like little boxes that we can save stuff to and get back later. It just helps us keep a little bit more organized. So to get the user input, what we're going to do, we can use input, the capital I, and there's a bunch of different things here. There's get key. Get key will let us know if a certain key on the keyboard has been pressed. Get button. This is a little bit more of a generic way of getting these. These take in button names, and we can set up in an input manager what button names to work with. It's really useful if you want your game to work with keyboard and mouse, as well as work with game controllers. The other one we have is get access. Get access is similar to get button, but it doesn't tell you if a button's being pressed. This is more so for, on a game controller, if you have the joysticks, how much a joystick is pushed in a given direction. It's also used for, it's also set up to work with certain keys on the keyboard as well. And this is the one in particular we're going to be wanting. So to make a variable, what we do is we say what type of variable it is. In this case, it's going to be a float. We give it a name. I'm calling it move in X. And I want to get what's called the horizontal axis. Now we can go take a look at what the horizontal axis actually is in Unity's input manager if we wanted to. But just know that this is bound to, I think, the left stick on most gamepad controllers. It's either the left or the right. I can never remember. I think it's the left. Maybe it's the right. It's also bound to the A key and the D key, as well as the left and right arrow keys. And it'll tell us how much of each is being pressed. If it's all the way, if A is being pressed, it's going to be -1, and if D is being pressed, it's going to be +1. And you know what? Maybe let's just also print get axis horizontal to really see what it's doing for us.
There's two of them.
Two of them? What do you mean two of them? So notice that I'm printing out. I'm seeing 0. I'm going to hit the A button. It goes down to 1. If I release, it goes back to 0. I'm now pressing D, goes up to -1. I'm now releasing D, back to 0. I'm pressing D, and now I'm going to press A. Doesn't work. Okay, that's not surprising to me. I'm now going to hit the left arrow key, same as when I hit A. I'm also going to hit the right arrow key, same as when I hit D. So that's what get axis horizontal does. Mind the capital H in the spelling. If we want access to the W and S keys as well as the up and down arrows, it's a very similar deal, but instead of getting a horizontal axis, we want the vertical axis. Now we need to actually construct our move, and it wants a direction or a position somewhere to move towards. And we use vector 3s to represent this in the same way that transform.forward was a vector 3 in pointing in the direction of the green arrow. We're going to construct a new one out of these. So we're going to call it a vector 3. We're going to call it movement. And this is going to be equal to a new vector 3. We're going to specify, whoopsie-daisies, how much we want to move in the x direction. We don't want to be moving in the y direction. And then how much we want to move in, this isn't for y, this is for z. How much we want to move in the z direction. And then all that's left to do is say to the controller, we want to call simple move on it. And just like we can get properties, we can also call commands on stuff. And simple move wants to know which direction we're moving in. There's one other thing I need. Well, no. This is fine for now. So once I have all that, if I hop back into Unity and I go ahead and play, I made a mistake. Let's take a look at this. Unassigned reference exception. The variable controller, the name controller of player controller has not been assigned. Okay. What this means is I forgot to tell it what the player controller is. Notice if I look on the script, I have a new field called controller. We added this in. I now need to tell it what the player controller is. I can do this by dragging my capsule into that slot. Once that's done, now when I play, and I should have saved before I hit play, but too late now, I can now move around rather slowly. Well, that's fine. We have the speed field. We'll change that and move it at the exact same speed. Can anyone tell me why that didn't work?
You exit out of play. And then go back.
To the script?
No, to the, and then you play again, and then it will work.
Okay, I need to change this number. And we're gonna play. And no. I'm still slow as a snail. Let's hop back into the script and see if we can find out why that wasn't working.
I think I know.
All right, go ahead.
Because speed is just a public float. It's actually not assigned to do anything.
All right, so how might I use it?
You could, like, depending on speed, you could add more or less to the horizontal and vertical axis.
So do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if that works. Nope. Nope, that didn't work.
Oh, because speed is set to a number and it'll always just move.
Very good. So what else can I try to use speed for? Does anyone else have an idea? Why don't I try printing out what movement is? If I go ahead and print out movement.
Thanks. Thanks.
We can see that it goes, if we're taking a look down here, as I'm moving around, these numbers go in the direction, only ever go between -1 and 1 in either x and y. And when there's some value, that's the direction I'm moving in, but they're never really going above that. If I can make them go bigger than -1 and 1, I might be able to move faster. So we want something that when it's 0 will still be 0. When it's 1 will be maximum speed, and when it's -1 will be maximum speed but in the other direction. Can we think of any operations that will do that for us?
An if then?
We could do if then, but is there a maths operation that we can use?
Greater than or less than?
Not quite. Other ideas?
If you wanted to make a number twice as big, how would you write that using like math?
Multiplication.
Multiplication, there you go.
Very good. So instead of adding on speed, we're going to multiply by speed. Saving, hopping back into Unity, saving my scene because I keep forgetting to do that and I don't want to lose all of this. Speed is 5. Let's see. Ooh, much quicker. And we'll notice, if we take a look down in the console again, that speed is now going between -5 and 5, but it's holding on 0 when I don't want to be moving around. All right, I'm going to put the script up so that you guys can go ahead and copy it and play around with it and see if you can get it working, while also asking questions and running into whatever issues you run into.
So at this moment, I just want to make a disclaimer. Guys, we only have 5 days. Obviously, we cannot cover the entire coding during these 5 days, and this is a Unity class. We don't expect all of you to understand the coding to the degree that some of the students actually understand it. So obviously, those of you more advanced can get more out of it. Those of you who just starting the coding, we highly encourage you to look at our pure coding programs like Python for Kids, Fun Python for Kids, where we go through the essence of concepts, what's variables, what are loops, what are functions. That way, when you actually do this later, it will click better and more. So my point is, at this for this specifically class, the goal is for you to understand the Unity portion of it, and a script. Just follow Riley and just like literally copy paste those, okay? Like literally make sure your script page looks exactly like Riley's. Try to understand like why when you change something there, things happen, change in Unity, right? So that's your way, tinker with it, okay? But take this as a base. We're doing the same in our Arduino class at the moment, right? We don't expect everyone to follow this or understand this, but at least you know where to actually inject your code so that your program works and actually your characters start moving around, okay? So you know that to inject the code to your character, you need a play controller. Here's the code for it. And I wouldn't open the secret if I let you know that there are a lot of scripts out there in internet, and sometime actually you can use the scripts of internet, but you need to know how to adjust it to your game, what variable name to change the script name, and that's what we expect that you'd learn from this program, okay? So as to the code, you can find the code in this program, save all the scripts that Riley gives you, because these are real examples that you can use in any game. Make sure you create your own library of scripts. You know where on your computer to access them in case you need to move them to another game, okay? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you create another game. You'll just reuse that same script. Okay, and I think to make their life easier, maybe Riley, maybe we can copy paste this entire script into the chat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted.
So Arman, for you, for example, right, I don't expect you to type all this or understand like it to the degree that, for example, Ajwad or Max understand, right? For you, I expect you to know where to copy paste this code, okay? Yeah. So you create your script, you double click on it, the script opens, you copy paste the script, but make sure that the line 5 have the same name as your script name does. So basically, maybe only copy paste that part that they need to change so that they don't overwrite their public class on the top. But you added the variables, right? Yeah,
try that.
I think, yeah. Okay, so Riley, are you expecting them to follow you now and do that now?
I just sent the file over, and I would like to know if it worked.
Even
But
better.
I'm saying it's a potential security issue.
Is there like a cancel button?
Yeah, there's a cancel button on this.
Yeah, it is a potential security issue if you were getting it from an untrusted source and didn't see exactly what it did. Don't get random scripts off the internet, kids. That's a bad idea.
Okay, so do I download it or do I just cancel this?
No, in this case, you can download it.
You can download it. This
Yeah,
is not
so
a
you-
random script off the internet.
Yeah, you
This is-
saw that it came from Riley, and he literally just showed you on the screen what he did. So, but be careful. Riley's point that if you're actually searching internet for the scripts, some scripts might have viruses in them. So before you download them, you want to actually open them as a text file or something and see what's inside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Internet's a dangerous place.
Yeah.
Don't run code you don't know what it's doing.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm downloading now.
Okay.
Mhm. Make sure
Like, you can also
you're-
type it out yourself. That might be just as quick as going through Zoom. But if you don't want to type it all, I do encourage you to play around with it and try and break it and see what it's doing and how it's going wrong and how you can do different stuff.
Mhm.
And this player controller also has a lot of flaws to it. In particular, it doesn't it doesn't allow you to jump.
Yeah, make sure to download it now, because after we close the meeting, the chat will not be accessible to you guys. So
Yes. If
yeah.
you don't get it now, you'll have to wait until the video's out
Yeah.
and then copy it out by
And then-
hand from the video.
And then type it. Yeah.
I think I might have saved it. Now I'm checking if I saved it.
And then just drag and drop it into your assets folder.
And again, every
Yeah,
time
I
you
saved
take
it. So now I just have
every
to.
time you take file from Riley, make sure your script name matches the public class name online.
It will if I'm sending the whole file.
No, I mean like Arman, I saw when he created his script
Oh.
name was a script or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
just
you-
took a picture of it.
Pardon?
Okay.
I just took
Oh,
a
you took a
picture of the script if I ever need it.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
you can do that too. Yeah.
The other thing is you can't have two scripts that are the same name. That just confuses Unity.
Yeah.
So the way Unity thinks, you told him what script to look for, and it goes to the scripts and looks for that code. So if your script name is player controller, but in Unity you tell it to look for the script that says script, right? Then there's a mismatch and it will never find the correct script. Arman, this is point for you, right? Just make sure your script name in the Unity, rename that script and make sure it exactly like Riley put on line 5. It should be player controller, right? All the letter cases should match as well. So if you see capital P, it has to be capital P. If you see capital C, it has to be capital C, because that actually matters in C#. Like player controller with capital P and player controller with lowercase p are completely two different names, and C# would definitely understand them, right?
Let's try this. So,
Okay, and just to update Riley, so what are we expecting them to do now?
Right. Make sure it's all. Has everyone got it working?
Yeah.
I'm trying right now.
Okay.
So they're supposed to actually run this,
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
copy paste the script and run the program to see if it works, right?
Yeah, I want to see if they can get a player controller up and going.
Right, but did they follow you when you created the scene? Did they also, it's just like plane and the capsule, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, by this point in time, you guys are comfortable creating a scene and putting a capsule into it.
Mhm.
And I know you all are, because I've seen you guys do much more complicated things than that.
And then similar to material, they have to run the script to that capsule, right?
Yeah, that was the other thing, in case you missed it and I wasn't there. You have to drag the script, mouse, drag the script onto the object you want to have the script, and make sure there's only one on there.
Lucas, that for you, right?
If you ever want to get rid of a component, make sure you can just right click, remove component. So.
Okay,
And
Zachary has some issues there.
Yep.
Now, Zachary, do you want to look at his screen?
Yep, I do. All right, Zach, go ahead and share.
And Lucas, I think yours one doesn't work either, so you'll be next. And we have 10 minutes left, guys.
Okay. Can you zoom in a bit? Oh, compiler errors. Well, I showed you this. Go into your console.
The second tab.
Yeah, next to your project tab. Where's your mouse? Oh, no, down. Up a little bit. Console. Good. So, remember I told you how to read these errors. On line 25, it's expecting a closing squiggly brace.
So let's go back to your code now. Let's go back to your Visual Studio.
If you didn't share, if you only shared Unity and not your whole screen, we're not going to be able to see Visual Studios when you go to it.
only shares yeah. So, but anyways, find that line and just put the whatever it's missing there, this square bracket, right?
Mine's not working.
And in your code, whatever code is wrong, it probably has a red squiggly line there, just to show you where it's missing it. Okay.
I mean, there's already squiggly line.
Yeah, so that means that you're missing something there. So wherever that squiggly line, there's supposed to be a square bracket, right?
I don't see anything wrong.
Can you stop sharing this one and share your entire screen so we can see?
I don't know how to share entire screen.
It should be the first option in the top left when you go share. It should just say screen under it.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's, it's fine.
Yeah, if it's fine now, save it.
Well,
Maybe.
hold on. What did it tell you that you were needing?
This.
Where?
Line 25.
I press and it said here.
Right. So is that line 25 you're on right now?
Oh, let's see. You see on line 25, it has the red squiggly.
Yeah.
So click enter.
So hold on. Go back for a second. Notice how that squiggly is highlighting the one above it. It's connected with a dotted line. Right?
Okay.
Now take a look at line 6. Is that highlighting any any curly brace?
So that one needs a closing curly brace at the end, right? The one on line 25 closes the one that you started on line 18. But the one on line 6 is missing the closing curly bracket.
Now let's do exactly what the error says and go ahead and put another closing squiggly brace on line 25.
Oh, I kind of.
Oh, don't put it there. Control Z.
I did though, and
Control Z.
No, close that one. Yeah.
And go back to line 25 and put it there.
Wait.
All right, and it automatically jumps down to better formatting. We could have put it on line 25, just as the error said, but Visual Studio's auto formats for us. And now it should go away.
Did you save that, Zachary? Did you save?
Yep, he did.
Did? Okay.
Not doing anything. It's not doing anything.
Ooh. Okay, Khalid's having some issues.
Can you download the one that Riley shared?
Oh, okay.
Okay, can you maybe take Tim and the other guys to another room so we...
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Khalid and Lucas, I'm going to send you into... Khalid, I'm going to send you into a room with... No,
Yeah,
Khalid and Lucas, I'm going to send you into a room with
Tim, yeah.
Tim.
Mhm.
So Khalid, you should already be able to go into Tim's breakout room. And Lucas is in a different room. Breakout room 1. There you go. So Tim and Lucas, no, Tim, Lucas, and Khalid, please hop into that room and we can take care of your issues there.
Let's go ahead and accept that one. too.
Pardon?
I'm sorry. I'm just talking to my grandma.
Okay.
My thing, when I downloaded it, it did not work.
And that's Ajwad speaking right now, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So Zach, try to.
This is right the problem here.
Yeah. Can you hop into? And make sure the name. So go up to line 5.
Line 5.
Where it says player controller.
Yeah.
Change player controller to play button thing. All lowercase, all one word. The same name as your file.
That's one of the errors I mentioned, remember? It has to be same file, same name as your script in Unity.
And nope, make sure you're spelling it the same way as you spelled it into the file name.
Maybe it's easier to make him change the script to player controller.
No.
That's more meaningful.
Do I do the .cs as well?
No, you don't need the .cs, but you do need to spell play button thing correctly.
It is.
No, it's not.
Oh no, I forgot the O.
Yeah. And you. Oh, nope. Good. And save that, and now hop in, and then we can probably take a look at Ajwad's.
Mine also has a problem as well.
Who is that? Max. Thank you.
And still not work.
Oh, that's fine. Click on the cube again. That's a good error. That's the same error that I got when I tried the first time around. So click on the cube. Nope. We're not quite done yet. So you need to drag the cube into the controller slot, the controller field of your script. So take a look at where that is.
This is,
yeah.
And
controller says none.
So
that's
just up a little bit.
Yeah.
You need to, just drag the cube into that slot. Beep.
You never showed me this, though.
Yeah, you did.
I ran into the same problem.
Yeah.
If you don't have a ground, you're just going to fall. So I would recommend putting that in, but yours is working now.
I didn't know it had it.
Yeah, good job, Alex. Good job. Let's move on.
All right. Ajwad?
Yeah.
So if you can stop sharing, please.
It's not moving, though.
Are you pressing your keys?
Yeah.
Okay. Irada, do you think you might be able to take a look at
I can try Ajwad. I can take Ajwad to separate rooms.
can you take a look at Max and Ajwad? Because I think they're going to be fairly straightforward. I'm going to go quickly help Zach in a breakout room.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So assign to breakout room 3. Zach, come join me in a breakout room. Did I not go?
No.
Yes.
It's still here. Okay, and Ajwad, go ahead, share your screen. Okay, you downloaded the Riley script and it should be straightforward, right? Okay, so so his script called player controller. Can you go to your Unity and let's see what's the name of the script there? Player controller, same name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and can't add script.
Yeah.
Can add script component because the script class cannot be found. Make sure that there are no compile errors. Okay, click OK on this one.
Okay.
Now, click on your player controller. Maybe we did some spelling mistake in the name. I want to make sure it's the same name.
Wow.
So it takes you actually to this one, right? Why do you have 2 player controllers there?
I
This
think.
one says player controller 1.
Huh.
So that must be the problem. Let's close one of them. Let's close this one. Yeah.
Earlier, so.
Let's close this one. Don't save this one. Yeah. And actually close this one as well and go back to Unity and click on it again.
So now we go back to
Unity.
Unity.
Mm-hmm. And just stay here for a sec. Just stay here. Let me actually request the control.
Okay.
Yep, I want to see the entire name of it. There you go. Let's actually copy that. Is there one at the end? There is one at the end. You see that one? Let's delete that one, right? Because your script that you downloaded from Revit doesn't have one, right? Now let's double click on it. You see when I mean one, I mean this one here. They should match, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, this name and that name should match. Okay, so go ahead, save, and try to run it again. It should work.
So I can do this. And go here. Try breaking this there. Okay, and then.
And yeah, move that one to control.
Yeah. Oh.
Try again.
Doesn't want to do it this time. Maybe it'll. Strange.
Doesn't allow you to do it.
What's the issue?
Well, he's when he downloaded yours.
Yeah.
He created Player Controller 1, but the script name was Player Controller, so he couldn't find the script. So it wasn't an issue. But now he's running into other issue. He can't drag the capsule in his controller for some reason.
Okay, that's fine. Click on the little circle next to the none.
Yeah, you can force it.
And then, oh, you don't have a player controller component on your capsule.
I just dragged it though.
No, not the, sorry, my bad. Not player controller, character controller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Character controller.
It's the first one. Yeah.
Yep. And now try dragging it in. And make sure you set the speed to not 0. That's what the problem I just had to deal with was.
Yeah, same. I fixed that problem, but I have another one.
You have another one? All right.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at you at the end.
And everyone else watch, maybe we're solving your problem as well, right?
This is weird. Uh-oh. Is it moving on its own, or is it now just...
Are you
No,
controlling
it looks to be moving fine.
Are you controlling? Are you controlling with the keys?
I think I'm moving the camera.
No, you just don't have enough going on to be able to see.
Okay, I'll.
But it's definitely working.
You can zoom out just to see
Or
more. Yeah, you can see
the
the
other thing
entire
is,
one.
if you go
Yeah,
back,
I'll
click on
put a
your.
block. I'll just put a cube somewhere, and then we'll see where if it's.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Go back into game view, or click on your capsule into hierarchy.
Oh, yeah.
Now go back to game view.
Game view.
And click on it. Click on the game view, the window, and now you should be able to control it again. No, like click on the actual game window. No. Yeah. Now you should click on the capsule again. Make sure the capsule's in the inspector, and then click on the game window. Now you should have control back with WASD.
Oh, WASD.
It's still paused.
Oh, you paused it. Haha, unpause it. No, don't. Oh, okay, hit play again.
Okay, so.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Just move around and take a look in the inspector as you're moving around, and notice the position of the capsule as you move.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's moving.
There you go. So you don't have to put a cube in. We can use the data that's available to us to see what's going on.
Yeah, now it's saying what it's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, and who's next?
So it's 3 o'clock, and I see they're signing off. So will there be any homework, or you wanted them add some scene?
Right.
And
Okay. So I did have a little bit more of a complicated homework in mind, but because we're out of time, all I'm going to say is make use of what we've done. So if you just want to play around with the character controller and give them like an obstacle course to walk through, that's fine. If you want to add a sphere as a physics object and have the player try to kick it around somewhere and move around, that's fine. If you want to try and adapt this into a first-person controller rather than a third-person controller, or have the camera follow your character, also fine. If you feel strong in scripting and you want to try and make a better controller, maybe add in jumping or looking around with the mouse, very good. I just want to see you guys put together what we've done over the past 3 days into one scene all together where you can move your character around.
Yeah, and at the minimum, use your Olaf. Use the snowman, put the controller in him, and actually try to control him over the scene, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's at the bare minimum.
That's the gist of what I wanted you guys to do. I did have a little more of a formal explanation, but we're definitely running low on time. Anyone who doesn't need help is free to take off. I'm willing to stick around and help anyone who needs help still, and Alex can come and stop the recording.
You mean we just have to have fun with everything that we know?
Yeah, pretty much, Armand. Make something cool and creative. Make me go, wow.
We need to make the thing jump.
Pardon?
We need to make the thing jump.
If you want to. Okay, so who needed help?
I need help.
All right, so we'll do Nathan, and then who else?
Me.
I need a name, not just a me.
Max.
Okay, so we'll do Nathan, then Max. Andrew, you still need help? And Armand, do you need help?
No, but can I leave the meeting?